NER MINER is no longer a meme, and with that, welcome to the work in progress balance changes for the next season in Clash Royale. We have interesting nerfs, interesting reworks, and most importantly, a lot of buffs, which is, in my opinion, the best thing we can have in balance changes. Not only nerfing cards that are broken, but even more buffing cards that are completely dead to somehow bring a new meta. Otherwise, you just keep the same meta in a nerfed way. This way, like Clash Royale is doing it for this season, we are reviving the meta, we are bringing something totally new into the game, we will change everything. I'm promising you guys, this will change Clash Royale's meta completely. So let's jump into it. I will start with the buffs first of all, and you can see there are a couple of cards that will probably get a buff. Let's check it out. The first card is the Spirit Empress. We are talking about the 6 elixir version here. Spirit Empress will get a buff on her HP, cause let's be real, the card was not performing that well as the team expected in the first case, especially because it's such a beautiful card design. Not talking about the beautiful Spirit Empress, yeah, you know what I mean. I'm talking about the design that you have 2 cards in once, and this is absolutely not working. No one is actually playing this card cause Spirit Empress suffers in the spam meta, in the 1v1s, if it's against air. She's not that powerful for 6 elixir, so they are giving her more health to be a bit more resistant. Next up, we have minions, and this is great. You can maybe already see it. If you play minions, they will fly faster. Supercell is not changing something of the damage or health stats. Instead, they are changing how the troop moves. So the movement speed is going from fast to very fast, and making minions more aggressive. If they, for example, run into a king tower, then they will deal more damage instead of just getting shredded down by the princess tower. And I like to see this. This might be viable in miner decks, so minions could get a comeback after no one played it cause Evo Bats just replaced this card. Let's jump into the next one, and the next one is the Phoenix. Phoenix gets 2 buffs. First up, the hit speed. Then you can see right here, if he attacks, he is a bit faster in attacking, which means more damage over time. So DPS is slightly increased, but next to this, there's a very interesting change, cause when the Phoenix dies, the death damage will deal full damage. Before there was a 70% damage reduction. Not everybody knows about this one, but if he now connects to your tower and he dies next to your tower, he will deal 100% damage. This just means that the death damage a troop takes is also the damage the tower takes, and this is great. So Phoenix a bit more viable and dangerous if he connects to your tower. Next up, we have Zappies. Zappies are also kinda dead. I think the only deck that runs Zappies right now is Recruits, and most of the Recruits decks still don't run Zappies. Instead they go for the Goblin Gang, Firecracker, Wallbreaker, and all this annoying spam stuff. Hawk Rider, Mighty Miner, you know which deck I'm talking about. And to make Zappies a bit more better, the first hit, so the first time they hit a target, doesn't matter if it's a tower or a unit, the first hit is faster. So it's increased by 0.3 seconds, which is quite a lot. I don't know if this will revive the card, but at least it makes the card a bit more viable in the meta. Also against other spam cards, they attack a little bit earlier. It's just welcome to see a buff on Zappies. Then we have the Golem, and yeah, do you want to guess it? I will tell you guys. Golem will get a buff on its Golemites. Golemites are the 2 mini golems that pop out when the golem turns into his mini form. They will deal way more damage. Not just something like 20% or something, it's 111%. So when the Golemites are on your tower, they will deal more than double the damage on it, and that is actually insane, making Golem decks a bit more dangerous if you ignore these mini Golemites. It's a cool change, and that's already everything with the buffs. So let's jump into the reworks, and the first rework is for the Witch. Actually, it's for the Evolution Witch, not for the Witch. And it's probably one of the most annoying cards in the entire game, and as you can see right now from the stats, she heals up more. And that's actually true. They are buffing the heal from the skeletons. So when a skeleton from the Evo Witch dies, she gets more health now. But next to this, skeletons that you place somewhere else that are not spawned by the witch can no longer heal up the witch. So if you play a Skami on the opposite lane and your witch is slow life, this won't heal up your witch at all. Which means graveyard decks are no longer strong together with the evil witch. Same as a Skami at the bridge or another witch. That's interesting now. If you have another evil witch and she spawns skeletons, it only counts the skeletons from her own that can heal up the own witch. So if you have two witches, the one witch cannot heal up the other witch, so it's still separated. Only the skeletons that this witch spawns can also heal up the witch itself. So the heal effect is way worse than before, and I appreciate the change. This was a wish from many creators, to be honest, and many pro players said, why is it healing from other skeletons? This is a design that should not exist in Clash Royale, and now after 3 seasons, I guess, they are finally fixing this. Big W to the team. It's a bit too late, but thank you anyways for it. So the next one is the Dart Goblin. Would you say this card is broken? It definitely is. It definitely is. And this card is insanely broken, to be honest. We have a boosted change here. If you look at the cloud behind the Dart Goblin, you see the barbarians are kind of taking no damage right now, just if they are inside this poison. But once a unit dies, or just the poison behind the giant, the poison only stacks for 1 second now. Before it was 4 seconds, they are reducing 75% of the poison duration behind the tank or the target that is poisoned, making the poison effect for backup troops less dangerous. A great change in my opinion. And next to this, Dart Goblin is also getting a change. His attack speed, so this affects the Dart Goblin and the Dart Goblin evolution, both forms at the same time. The attack speed is a bit slower, going down to 0.8 seconds, but next to this, his damage is a little bit increased. In case you want to see the stats, these are the stats also on level 11 and level 14. Yeah, he is dealing more damage, but has a slower attack speed, making, I think, the stats still balanced overall, but yeah, his poison is nerfed, so that's the main nerf for this card. Even if they claim it as a rework, it's a nerf in my opinion, and it's a great one, to be honest. The next one is way more interesting than just the Dart Goblin. It's the Evo Archers. Evo Archers were decent in the current meta, especially in Expo and I think Graveyard decks. They were pretty solid, but this rework is a big nerf in my opinion to them. So what is going to change? First of all, the power shot. So the damage, the shot that deals more damage, that is called power shot. This one is dealing less damage now. You can see the Hawk Rider takes a hit on the tower here, and yeah, that's the first thing. They are nerfing the damage from that card, but next to this, if a unit gets closer to the card, the power shot still enables 0.5 tiles earlier. So if a troop runs closer into the archers, the power shot stays a half tile longer. That's basically what they are reworking, and next to this, the archers get 5% more damage in the normal form. So a slight damage buff for archers here as well. Then we have the Goblin Hut. Goblin Hut is the next card. Also very passive and strong building. Especially Graveyard decks provide a lot of value with the Goblin Hut. This card is changing a little bit now, because when you deploy the Goblin Hut into a unit, the first Goblin will spawn earlier actually, which is a slight buff to this card, but the spawn frequency, so the time it takes to spawn another Goblin out of the hut when a troop is in range of the hut, is nerfed by 0.1 seconds. So overall, it's a slight nerf to this card. If you just spawn these Goblins consistently, 0.1 seconds is not that much, but you will maybe notice if there is a tank and you're trying to defend with the Goblin Hut, it will be a bit less broken in the defense. So we have a lot of nerfs, and it's not only 6 cards that are getting a nerf. We also have 3 tower troops Clash Royale is nerfing. And the first one is the Cannoneer. Cannoneer is very often played in matches and matchups like Spam. There he is pretty solid because he has a decent damage and takes down troops like wall breakers, for example, one shot, and this is very good for him. Now with the next nerf. I claim it as a nerf. They are buffing something and nerfing something. He is better against swarm units because he has a faster attack speed by 0.3 seconds. As you can see, he's not struggling that much with the swarm units here. Of course, he still takes a lot of damage, but this is overall better now. But next to this, he is getting a big damage nerf, and this results into, for example, that barbarians no longer are too short from the cannoneer. Instead, it takes 3 hits for the cannoneer to take down barbarians. And these interactions that change with this card can be significant for, his gameplay. So you don't want to run him in certain matchups, make the card incredibly bad in my opinion. Then we have the Dagger Duchess. Also a very annoying tower troop for most of you probably, especially when you play some spam decks. You cannot break through this card, and there's a reason for it, because this card has a very fast attack speed. But this will change now, because the attack speed is reduced by 0.05 seconds. So it takes longer to do a hit on, or to do the hits, or the frequency between the hits from the Dagger Duchess. So even if she fights against Swarm, it doesn't matter which card it is, she's overall worse. She takes longer to throw the next knife. And this is a big nerf to this card, hopefully bringing this one a bit down in the use rate and making Princess Tower even more popular, because that's the only real tower we should focus on. Last but not least, also Chef Tower is experiencing a nerf, and his cook duration is just reduced. Pretty simple change here. He is going from 35 to 38 seconds as the maximum cooking time, and the minimum cooking time is 21 seconds, increased to 23 seconds. Sorry for this battery animation. So it's basically just a cooking time that takes 9 up to 10% longer to have it cooked up. You know what I mean? Okay, and then we have 6 other cards getting a nerf, and I will correct this. This is not the Firecracker evolution, it's the Firecracker itself. So Firecracker is getting 2 nerfs. The first nerf is her sight range. So I think that's the splash range if I'm correct here. This one is reduced from 8.5 to only 8. I'm not really sure what this means, but this is, I think, a bit nerf of the splash or something. Correct me if you know it, I'm not sure about this one. But the way more important nerf that we are experiencing here is her knockback. And if you look closely, her knockback is dramatically reduced. It's reduced by 33%, only 1 tile knockback anymore, and this is insane. If you're running Firecracker and Hawk Rider decks, this will nerf your entire deck, because she will, for example, stay longer in your tower range if she knockbacks, and so on and so on. You cannot, Firecracker will not that easy dodge out of arrow range as well. And the only advantage of it is that when you play against tanks, for example, she is earlier inside of the tank is earlier inside of the Firecracker range. You probably know what I mean with that. So she can attack faster to a target because she don't have to walk to the target again. That's the only small buff. Overall, big nerf to Firecracker. Then we have the Spear Goblins, and Spear Goblins also get a nerf. This also affects Goblin Gang, Goblin Hut, and the Goblin Giant, because all of these cards run Spear Goblins. Spear Goblins will have a slower first attack. So if a Spear Goblin is, for example, on 1 HP and he runs into a Princess Tower, it takes way longer to do the first hit, and in this scenario he won't deal the hit on a tower. So big nerf to Spear Goblins. Overall, the card was very popular in a lot of spam decks. Mortar, just the normal spam, same as Lockbait. It should lower the use rate of the decks a lot. Then we have a change for Rage. It's also nerfed. The Rage will deal more damage, same as he did before. Ever since they nerfed it, some interactions didn't work anymore, like Zap and Rage didn't kill, I think, Princess or something anymore. I think Princess survived, but other cards, you know what I mean, Firecracker probably didn't die. And these interactions will work again with Rage. But as you maybe realize, the duration of the Rage is reduced by 1 entire seconds. Just to show you the stats real quick on level 11 here. The duration is now only 4.5 instead of 5.5 seconds. Nerfing this card, or the effect from this card, I mean, that's the main thing why you're playing a rage. Of course, sometimes to kill units, but mainly to rage up troops. And this is something people claim as no skill. So no skill is lowered by 1 second here. 3 more nerfs. The next one is the miner, and I cannot show you the gameplay of it, sadly. But the miner will have a slower hit speed. So they are actually nerfing miner. I'm serious with that. Hit speed is going from 1.2 to 1.3 seconds, so 8% slower, making miner a bit, yeah, dealing less damage on the towers when you chip there. Because some decks are still powerful with this card, and I think if they change some other cards here with the balance changes, they're also thinking about miner could be good once again when minions maybe are good or other cards. Spam is not that strong anymore, so miner poison actually has a chance to dominate once again. So we are also nerfing miner a tiny bit, that it won't get too powerful, that not every pro player is running miner once again. So we have 2 more cards that we have to consider of getting a nerf. The next one is the Evo Snowball, and let's see if you can find it out. If you see the Evo Snowball there, maybe you realize that the speed of the snowball, how it rolls on the ground, is faster, increased by 50%, which is claimed as a nerf because you can no longer stop units that fast. They are not that long in a snowball anymore, and that's why they are calling this a nerf. Yeah, that's basically the change for it. Just the rolling speed or time it takes to roll is faster, so troops are no longer hidden that long into the snowball. As you can see, Mega Minion popped out way earlier. It's offensively not that strong anymore as well. So it's actually a nerf, to be honest. So, and last but not least, we have the Evolution Skeleton Barrel. Let's check it out. If you play the Evolution Skeleton Barrel, you will not see the change. It's because they are nerfing the death damage of this card. It's decreased by 5%, so just a tiny balance fix here. I think the card still remains really solid in the meta. Right now, it's one of the best evolutions in my opinion. And this nerf will not change that much because, for example, minions will still die through it. I didn't check out other interactions so far. So this one is probably not changing that much. I say the card will still be viable. What do you think about this, guys? Let me know in the comments. Thank you very much for watching, and we will see us in the next one. Bye.